Welcome back to Review Outdoors. My name's Aaron. This channel is all about doing gear reviews, doing trail reviews, camping, adventures, and hikes, and all sorts of stuff. Guys, this channel is for you. I don't get anything out of this. This channel is very small, so I don't even have monetization. I do these videos for you, to help you make gear choices. I started hiking and backpacking several years ago, and there was not a lot of information on inexpensive gear that I could buy as a newbie to purchase and go out and hit the trail. So that's what I focus on this channel, is to provide reviews of inexpensive gear, not cheap gear, but inexpensive gear that you can purchase to get started with hiking, backpacking, or camping. So let's jump into this video. My people, this is a first look video at the Alps Mountaineering Paragon 2 trekking pole tent. Now, I have been interested in trekking pole tents for a very long time. My first backpacking tent was a very cheap River Trekker trekking pole tent, and it was a terrible tent. It leaked. It wasn't great at all. But I have consistently been interested in trekking pole tents, and so I've been looking at inexpensive options for trekking pole tents, and I also want as lightweight as I can get. So those two things, they are very hard to find together. The Paragon 2 can only be purchased at REI. Now, there is a regular version that is not REI of the Paragon 2, and I cannot remember what it is called, but I will put a link down in the description so that you can find that tent on Amazon or on Alps Mountaineering website. So I will put multiple links down below for this tent. I'll include the one at REI as well. Now, this is limited at REI, I believe. I got this on clearance, so I bought this tent for somewhere around $159. I will put the exact price on the screen below here somewhere, but this was a very inexpensive tent. And a unique feature of this tent is that it is a two-wall tent. So it's got the tent inner, the mesh inner, and then it's got the rain fly that goes over. That is different from many trekking pole tents that you see on the market today. This tent weighs 3 pounds and 8 ounces, which is fairly light. It's not heavy compared to other Alps mountaineering tents. Now, the drawback to Alps mountaineering tents is that they can tend to be heavier, but I have really grown to appreciate Alps Mountaineering because they make an inexpensive quality product. And so if you're willing to put up with a little bit heavier of a tent, you get a really good product for a great price. I have other Alps Mountaineering tents. They do great in the rain. I have never had an issue with Alps Mountaineering tents in the rain. So let's jump into this video. This is a first look. I am going to set this tent up. Let's just see what it looks like. I've never set this tent up before. I want to jump in here really quick because as I was pulling things out of the tent, this is the tent stake. And these are very short for tent stakes. So that is something that is a little concerning to me. They're very small. They're very small, very thin. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to get it here. They're very thin. So I don't know how well these are going to work. I might have to buy different tent stakes. We will see. But these just look really thin, really small to me. All right, let's continue with the setup. So I have made setting up the tent harder than it needed to be. So what I'm going to do, I was really confused. This is a little bit of a confusing tent to set up first, but that is if you don't read the directions. So I'm going to take the trekking poles out, and then I'm going to attach the rain fly, and then we will put in the trekking poles. The Alps Mountaineering Backpacking 3-season 2-person tent weighs 3 pounds 8 ounces. The package size is 7 by 16 inches. The floor dimensions are 90 inches by 52 inches. The floor area is 32.5 square feet. The vestibule area is 24 square feet. The peak height is 45 inches, has 2 doors. The canopy fabric is mesh. The floor fabric is 20 denier 380T ripstop nylon. The rainfly fabric is 20 denier 380T ripstop nylon. No footprint is included. This is a trekking pole tent. This tent is factory sealed. The fly is seam sealed, and the bathtub floor is fully seam sealed to provide weather protection. All right, and there we have it. The Paragon 2 is set up. It was much simpler than I thought. Actually, you have to attach the outer to the inner first. There's 2 clips. In the next video, I will do a whole setup video on this so that I can walk you through exactly how to set it up. But for this video, I have never set it up before, so I couldn't walk you through it without having set it up myself. So it is set up. This thing from the outside looks massive. It really looks huge. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but it is huge. The vestibules themselves are massive. Let's go over just some small key features that you're going to want to know about. The corners here, you have adjustments so you can tighten that without moving the stakes. You have a guy line tie-off point here, which I just haven't attached yet. I'm going to attach those. You have 2 vents here. So there's one here and one on the opposite side. It is fully open around the outside so air can flow up underneath. The mesh is complete mesh all the way around inside, and that on the outside is about it. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so I have some issues. If you can see this, the mesh is really saggy. So I'm going to do some adjustments to try and fix that. Oh, I kind of see why. There's hooks on the fly to pull this out. So let me connect those, and then I will show you the result of that. Okay, so it is definitely not as saggy as it was. I did a bunch of adjustments all the way around the outside. I pulled this up a little bit. That actually needs to be pulled up a little bit more, and I think it would help the sagging even more. But right now, I think it is about as close as I'm going to get it. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I can't really control that in here. But this seems to be a really nice tent. The design is very intriguing to me. It's different, for sure. I've never set up a tent like this before. So I set up the One Tigress Hill Ridge tent, and it's similar to this, but it's a single wall tent, so everything is connected. There isn't a mesh inner. And so that is it's a little tougher. I think I could almost, there's these little attachments here, these right here, for rolling up the screen door and connecting it, but you could also maybe, well, no, you really can't. I was thinking maybe you could connect those to the fly and pull that a little tighter, but you really can't. So I'm not exactly sure on the pitch of this just yet. I really want to work on it and get it perfected. But so far, I mean, this tent is quality. As far as I can see, it's a very quality tent. There's lots of air in here. I don't have the vents open. It is early morning, and it is like 50 degrees here in Michigan, which is crazy for April, but it's quite nice. I like it. It's very spacious. There's a lot of room in here. The vestibules are huge. There's a lot of headroom, and I think now I just have to work on the pitch to get it where I want it to be, so that hopefully this mesh isn't sagging down as much, and I can get this, you know, pulled really nice and tight. But for now, it is what it is. This is just a first look. I'm going to do a setup video for you when I do a rain test. So I will do a full setup review in the rain test video, which I don't know when that will be coming out, but it'll be coming out before too long. And so guys, I've been seeing this tent online on Amazon and on Alps Mountaineering's website, and then on REI. And the REI tent is named a Paragon tent. I cannot remember what Alps Mountaineering calls it, but this tent was specifically made for REI. Because if you go to REI's website, they don't have, this is the only trekking pole tent on their website. So it's a little weird, right? I enjoy having a trekking pole tent because it's lighter. But just looking throughout this whole thing, everything is seam sealed. Everything looks great. I noticed on the fly, it's very treated. It has a nice waxy coating on it. So that's all seam sealed and treated. So I think this is going to be a really good tent. I'm excited to use this thing. Like I said, it's huge in here. My son and I can definitely be in this tent together without any problem. It'd be a great one-person tent, but it does take up a larger footprint because the vestibules are so huge. I mean, let me show you this from the inside. I don't know if you can see that or tell on camera, but that is a good 3 feet out to the end of the zipper. That is huge. It is huge. Now, that could be an issue when you want to get out of the tent, because you have to reach way out there to reach the zipper. You practically have to get out of the tent to reach the zipper, which could be a problem. I don't know. It could be a design issue that I haven't discovered yet when I use it, but I will be using it. Inside the tent, there are 2 mesh pockets on either end, but that's it for really anything. There's a couple hooks up here. You can probably run a clothesline through there or something. But I do not see a gear loft at this point. The tent does come with several patches for the floor and for the rain fly. So that is really cool. And they're big patches. They're like this big. So there's a lot of material there that you can use to patch. But other than that, that's it for this tent, guys. Let me hop out of here and we'll conclude the video. All right, everybody. So this was a first look at the Paragon 2 Alps Mountaineering tent. So far I'm impressed. The amount of space inside the tent and the vestibules is just massive. You could have a massive amount of gear with this tent. However, I do need to use it to really figure out all the little intricacies that each tent has. Those large vestibules could really be a problem for when you want to get out of the tent at night and go to the bathroom. You're going to have to get all the way out of the tent to reach down to the end of those vestibules and zip that open. That could be an issue. You could get really dirty and really wet. Also, the sagging of the mesh inside is a concern to me, because I don't want mesh hanging in my face all night long. So that's a concern. I need to figure out how to get that tighter. So those are the 2 main concerns with this tent. I have confidence that this tent will not leak. I've had other Alps Mountaineering tents, had both of them in the rain. They do fantastic in the rain. So I'm not concerned about the rain, but I am concerned about those 2 issues that I just mentioned. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you can see that rain test video when it comes out, because otherwise, this is a new channel. You may not see that video, so you need to subscribe so that you can see that video. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.